Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Today I'm going to be showing you my process of making these super cute cargo pants. Now this is for Jack's costume. He's going to be an army guy, as he calls it. So I'm just going to show you. I just use a simple pants pattern. I'll leave a link for a free pants pattern in the description box. And then I just put on these super cute cargo pockets. I'm going to show you how to make these cargo pockets. And I'll also provide the measurements for these pockets in the description box or at a blog post. I'm not sure right this second. The faster I get it out to you, the better. So if I can just put it in the description, it'll be there for you. So yeah, if you want to see the whole outfit though, you should go over to my Instagram. I do have reels of him wearing the whole outfit. I made a dress shirt also to match, so he's got the whole entire thing. It's super cute. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Okay, so I grabbed this pants pattern off of, I don't even know. I'll have to leave the link in the description box. Why doesn't it have the name of the company on it? I don't know. Anyways, so I'm going to be cutting out size 8 out of this fabric, which is just a cotton fabric. And this pattern, this shows the green line, but this is also a pattern that needs to be mirrored, and it doesn't say, which could be a very large mistake if you don't know. Okay then, that's a shame. It might say it in the tutorial, I'm not sure, but I feel like it should be written on the pattern too. And don't you? Oh good, okay, so it's going to fit. So I'm just going to keep my fabric folded, and then that'll make sure that it is a mirrored piece. Okay, you can have your fabric folded like right sides together or wrong sides together. It doesn't matter as long as it is folded. And then I can cut this out, and then it will be exactly. It's a tight squeeze, that's for sure. Okay. Just gonna get some pattern weights. And try to use as much of the fabric as I can using my rotary cutter. Okay, so we don't need the pants pattern anymore. Just gonna fold it up. Okay, so here is, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding pockets. So the way this works is the pants get sewn from the inseam, and then the other ones get sewn, and then we insert one pant leg into the other one, and then we sew the crotch together. So while this is out, if you want to add your different types of accessories, so I'm going to be adding some cargo pockets to this, and like I said, this is going to be the inseam, so the cargo pockets are probably going to be around here. But yeah, so I'm just going to cut out some squares to make cargo pockets out of. Okay, so I created one of the pockets. I'm going to show you how I did it. So this is a cargo pocket. I made it so the lining is a different color, so he can store, you know, little fake bullets in there or whatever he wants. And it has a little pleat in it, so it's expandable. I know it's hard to tell because That's the point. It is supposed to be camouflage. But this is the one pant leg. So I have my pieces cut out. I'll have the pieces or the measurements at a blog post, so I'll have that linked down below or in the cards or in somewhere, so that you can grab them. This is for the kid size, but I will have an adult measurements also available over there. So I am making this lined a different color. If you wanted to take this and double it so that this is all one piece, but basically I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to sew across here to make it one large piece. So if you wanted to just get a bigger piece and then fold it in half, that's easy. You can do that too. So with this is the flap. So I'm going to have two pieces, and I'm going to take a circular item and I'm just going to round the corners. This is pretty easy. I usually just take like one of my pattern weights, which is just a big washer. You can use a lid from something, and I'll just take my rotary cutter and just kind of, and then that's going to round off the corners. And you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can make it very boxy. It's all up to you what you want to do. And we'll do that here on the flap. I think it looks really cute when those two corners are rounded. Not all four, just the two. So from here, like I said, I'm going to sew across here. And for this, I'm going to start just by doing a seam all the way around here, leaving this open. What I'm going to do after that is I'm going to do a seam all the way around, but I'm going to leave a gap, and I'm going to use that for turning. So I'm going to put it along the side. Okay, from here we're just going to take the little flap and we're going to flip it right sides out. And I usually like to use a poking tool to kind of round out those seams like that. And then we'll take this and we will flip this. And if you want to cut the corners just so they're nice and sharp, okay, and now we're going to take out our ironing board. And we can give this a good press, and then we're going to press the pleats in. That little hole there, we're just going to try to make it neat and even. And then when we attach that pocket onto the pant leg, that hole is going to be sewn right up, so we don't even need to worry about it again. Okay, we'll press this as well. And for this, we're going to do a top stitch along the edges. So if you want to do 2 rows of stitches, you can do that, or 1. It's just a creative choice that you can decide what you want to do. But now we are going to work on folding this so that it resembles a cargo pocket and it can expand. Okay, so I'm going to find the center, which is 4 1/4, and I'm going to make this inch, and I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch on either side. Okay, So now we're going to fold where that marking was, and we're going to press. And again, we're going to fold where that mark is and press. Okay. And then we're going to find the center in the back too. And then we're going to just fold. We're going to fold it like this so that it's meeting that center point. We're going to take that flap and we're going to put it above it just to make sure that it fits. So if it doesn't, you might need to adjust some things, and that's okay. It might not be perfect. As long as it looks perfect on the outside, it doesn't matter what the pleat looks like on the inside. So it might not be even perfectly, but that's okay. As long as it looks even on this side. And we want it to be slightly smaller than the pocket flap. So now I'm just going to take a pin and I'm just going to pin that down. I'm going to do a hem right across the top. You still do like a quarter, like a half an inch, I'd say a half an inch little seam right across there. And then for this, we're going to do a top stitch. You can do 2 top stitch, do 1 and then another one a quarter of an inch away. You can do 1, you can do a decorative stitch, whatever you want to do. Okay, so hopefully this doesn't make your eyes go all buggy. I'm going to take my pant leg now and we're going to put our pocket in. So we're going to take it and we're going to line up our side seams, and we want to find the, how do you say, the center kind of. I'm just drawing a line kind of all over my desk. But now when I open it up, I'll have that line. And now you're not going to be able to see this, and it's completely pointless. Could you see it? Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I didn't think of this. I didn't think of this. Okay. This is just funny. Okay, so I can't help but laugh. Okay, I'm going to take my other pant leg, and I measured it down. I looked at different pants. My husband doesn't have cargo pants, so I couldn't look at his. And I just kind of went to see like where on the pants it looked like they were. If you look at shorts, these are my son's shorts, they're above the crotch seam, but they're shorts, so I think that's why. So on pants though, they seem like they're kind of below the pants seam a bit, so like more like on the thigh, like on the big part of the thigh. So I'm just gonna do it like I just did it. Let me see, what did I do? It's like 2.5 inches down. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm just finding the center of my pocket. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to, here, I'll go like this. I'll pretend like this is how center. Okay. And I'm going to pin it. And what we're going to do is just sew all the way around the pocket except for the top. We're going to leave that open. And then the top flap is super easy. What we're going to do is, this is kind of messy, so I'm going to quickly take my rotary cutter and just kind of clean that up a bit. I don't have any like frays and stuff hanging out. And then you measure up like a 1/2 inch above your pocket, and you place your pocket open like that. We're gonna sew it right across here. We're probably gonna do like an 1/8 inch seam allowance. And then after we're gonna fold it down and then do a top stitch. That's gonna kind of hide that raw edge like a French seam, and then it'll keep the pocket closed basically, so that it doesn't want to just, you know, stay open. But yeah, so we'll see what's okay. So I'm going to sew starting from the corner, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down. I'm going to go back all the way to the top, and then I'm going to go back down again. And that is going to just double tack that pocket down. Make sure that, you know, when my son goes to put his hand in the pocket, he doesn't rip the seams very easily. And then that hole that we left should close up while we're doing this. Keep going all the way around. So hopefully you can see better what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like this. Go all the way up. And then down. And then if you want to go at an angle, that's how they do it on different pockets too. So it kind of looks like that. Okay, so that pocket is installed, and now we can work on sewing this down. And do a little seam allowance, nothing crazy. And then we'll pull out those pins, fold down the pocket. If you want to press it down, you can do that too. If not, then just keep going. And you want to make sure that the seam allowance is large enough that we hide that raw edge on the inside. Oh, too far. My finger slipped. All right. And from here, if you want to add a button, you can put a button in. You could put Velcro at any point, but I didn't. It really is a large flap, and I'm sure my son is going to want some quick access. And he's not going to be keeping anything too valuable, but of course, if you're making it for an adult, that's something that you can think about. You know, you can put a metal clasp in there, plastic snaps. Okay, so I'm just doing Okay, so we have both of our pant legs done. I did the inseam with the serger. It looks really good. So remember when I said that you had to cut these out mirrored? This is why it's important, because now we're going to insert the pant leg into we're going to do it this way. I'm going to put this one, which is right sides out, inside the one that is inside out. Okay, and if they're not mirrored, this will not work out. And so now I'm going to line up the crotch area, and you'll know that this is wrong if it's not mirrored, because the bum part is bigger than the front part, so this would not line up nicely. And I've done that before, like a few times, because sometimes you don't have enough fabric and you can't cut it on the fold like that, and then you're just like, oh my god, I just wasted all this fabric, especially if you don't have a lot of fabric. Okay, so now I can just serge that, and then we have pants essentially, just without elastic. How exciting! Okay, to hem, it's super simple. I am just going to turn my pants inside out. That would probably be easier. If you want to serge the raw edge, you can just fold it up one time, but depending on how much you need to hem up, or you can fold up one time and then again, and we're creating a casing for the elastic. If you're just doing regular hemming, I would just go like this and then just sew all the way around. You get a nice little hem. But because I am making an elastic casing, I'm going to make it a little bit wider, probably like an inch. When you're hemming a woven pant like this, you want to make sure that they are even. This will be a lot more obvious in a pair of woven pants. They might not be as obvious because I am putting the elastic in, but if you're choosing just to hem, then things are going to be really obvious when you go to put them on. So as close as you can get it. And maybe I'll just put a nice little crease in the pant too while we're at it. So I'm going to sew all the way around. I'm just going to leave about 1 inch, and that's going to be for when I insert my elastic. So that is the bottom of the pants. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the top. I'm going to make it a little bit wider because I'm going to put a 1 inch elastic. So I'm just going to fold down a 1/2 inch and then fold down again about a little, I would say a 1.5 inches maybe, just so that you have plenty of room. I've made it where it's like, oh, I'm going to put a 1 inch elastic in, and then I make the casing 1 inch, and then I'm just fighting with it the entire time. And yeah, don't do that. And if that's the case, if you do that and you're like, the 1 inch elastic doesn't fit and I don't have enough fabric to spare, then it's no shame in going into a 3/4 inch elastic. You just do what you gotta do to make it work. Alright. So, if you want to get your little ruler out, just to make sure. Yep. And I just wanted to do a little plug. If you don't already know, I do have a new podcast. I'll have those links in the description, but me and Bethany from Craft with Bethany on Instagram, we created a little podcast for sewists. And if you want to learn more or just join the community and get to know more sewists in the community, because we do interviews with other sewers, come on over. We have a YouTube channel, and then you also can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's called The Social Hour, SEW Shoal. Social. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to sew all around this one and leave about 1 inch so I can insert my elastic. Okay, so this is where I'm going to pull this guy out. And then I can slip my hem. And I'm going to start from the center seam just because that's the least visible. And I'm going to sew right up against here because I want to have a nice large casing. And it doesn't need to be very big, just big enough so that you can put a little safety pin in there or whatever tool you like to use for threading your elastic. Okay, so now I'm going to thread my elastic. I'm using a 9-inch piece of elastic. My son is 8. I haven't mentioned what size. I'm making him a size 8 pant. So 9 inches for the ankle. Pretty decent. I'm going to hold on to this, make sure I don't lose it. Hold on the end of it. And I'm using a bodkin. I'll have a link down below if you're interested. It's just a tool that people use to thread things, mostly elastic, ribbon, things like that. I'll show you when it's out. So it's a device that has a little thingy here and it pinches. So you just put it at the end of your elastic and then kind of go like that. And then you push it down and then it won't let go. It got little teeth in there. So now I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew here to make that a loop. Okay, so after that, then you just pull it and then we can do a top stitch just to finish and close that hole up. And then you have a nice little elasticized ankle. So I'm just going to do the same thing with the waist and the other ankle. Okay, so we have all of our elastic put in. So now I'm just going to sew up those holes. Okay, so now I'm just going to put, I'm going to sew up this. This is the back. I made sure that I made this little hole in the back so that I can just insert, this is what I like to do, just a little insert of an elastic. And then I'm using silk, so hopefully it doesn't bug him. And then he'll know where the back is. Here. He always gets so mad if I don't. If I don't put something there, he can't find it. Okay. And we'll do the last one. Done. Okay, and we're done. Let's turn them right sides out. Such cute little cargo pants. Oh my goodness. We're just going to take our scissors and snip off any. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I might do more of just my process of making my kids' costumes. I am making Jack a shirt as well. I don't know if I'll make a video for that, just because it's my first time making a dress shirt. But if you're interested in watching the process though, I could make another one. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video of me making a woven like dress shirt. I'm going to make that the same with like cargo pockets on the front. But I think they turned out so cute and he's gonna freak out. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, and of course go over to Instagram. I'm super active over there, and my TikTok. All those links are in the description box. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys. bye.